Joe Best here with Plant-Based News, and welcome to another quick fire session with one of our amazing plant-based doctors from our community, Dr. Milton Mills. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great, and it's great to be here.
Excellent. Okay, so let's get started. The first question, what's your favorite plant-based breakfast?
Scrambled tofu.
What's the biggest myth about protein you'd like to be extinguished?
You can't get complete protein from a plant source. The fact is, all plant foods have protein. All plant protein is complete protein.
Right. What's your favorite go-to comfort food?
I'm going to say it would be my holiday rice. Long grain brown and wild rice with cranberries, chopped hazelnuts, chopped walnuts, scallions, sweet orange and yellow peppers, mushrooms, and I use reconstituted dried chanterelles mushrooms flavored with garlic and herbs and fresh parsley.
It does sound really good.
It is, and it's also beautiful to look at.
What do you think is the most important animal product that everyone should eliminate today?
Animal tissue.
What's the best protein shake that someone can eat? I know you have an opinion about this, but what's the best protein shake that someone can have?
Forget about these protein powders. I prefer to use raw walnuts and then berries, thin it out with pomegranate juice and aloe vera juice, blend that up, and you've got a powerhouse protein shake.
That sounds actually much better than the powdered drink. So on this topic, I guess, what's the one nutrient that people worry too much about?
Protein.
Yeah.
What is the one nutrient people don't think enough about, even vegans? Fiber. And the greater the variety and diversity of plants we eat, the greater the variety and diversity of fiber compounds that we can ingest that have the capacity to do things for us that we still don't even understand.
If you weren't a doctor, what would you be doing?
What I wanted to do was become a lawyer.
I got to say though, mate, like you are a lawyer. The way that you do, the way you present the argument for plant-based living, you got the lawyering in there. I really feel
It's in
this.
there, yes.
It explains a lot. What's the one book you would recommend people read if they're interested in plant-based diets?
Oh, I guess I would have to say at this point, it would be How Not to Die.
What's your favorite lecture that you've done?
Probably The Biology of Disgust, which is also called Meat Eating and Mind Games. I would always start off by telling the class, I'm going to convince you that even if you eat meat, you don't like it. By the end of the lecture, they understood what I was talking about. And yeah, that's probably my favorite one.
What's your favorite go-to snack on a busy day?
Souped up hummus and rice cakes. I load my hummus up with cumin, red pepper, lemon, and garlic, and it's pretty spicy, but man, is it delicious.
Plant-based dairy alternative, soy, oat, almond, or none at all?
It depends on what you're doing. Like for cold cereal, almond milk works really well. And, so just drink rice milk and oat milk, which is thick and creamy. And, oh my gosh, you can make wonderful mashed potatoes.
What's the most surprising benefit of a plant-based diet?
Oh God, there's so many. Mental clarity and the way you smell. It's true.
If you was invited to add one guideline to America's food pyramid recommendations, one sentence, what would it be?
Dairy foods are toxic to human health.
Perfect. Who inspires you in the plant-based world?
As I told you, this past September was my 50th year of being plant-based. I just have the greatest admiration for those early pioneers who had the vision and helped create the reality that we now live in.
If you could put one food in abundance, one plant food in abundance in every underserved community in America for free, what would it be?
It would be some form of beans or legumes. When you understand all of the ways that you can fix legumes and all the things that you can do and how versatile they are, it's just limitless.
what's one tip you give people who are considering trying a plant-based diet for the first time?
You got to go cold turkey, and not a real turkey, but I don't believe in this whole moderation. I mean, I'm like, if you try to go plant-based, but you keep dipping and dabbing, you're like an alcoholic who thinks they can have one drink. You're going to end up on the floor of some bar, and you're going to end up at where you started. Cut it off, cut it out of your life. I tell people, if you got to lay on the ground and kick and scream and curse and throw things at the wall, you do it until you get past those cravings and you commit. You can't have booty calls with bad food. You don't go back, because if you do, you're going to end up in the same place you started.
You need to get some merch going, man. These are t-shirts. These are t-shirts. They're so good. Okay, last question. In one word, describe your vision for the future of plant-based food. But I don't know if you're going to do one word, but I'm going to answer it anyway.
How do you know that's impossible? It's in the title of my website, A Plant-Based Nation.
Okay.
Well, actually, I would say it would be a plant-based world, really. If we do it in this nation, we'll export it around the world.
It's very interesting because it actually is a plant-based world. We just have to align with that, right?
Yes.